Authorities have stated that Diddy won't be convicted based on recent CNN footage showing him assaulting Cassie. But wait, there's more. Some recently surfaced audio recordings might be the smoking gun that puts him away for good. These recordings range from whispered confessions to damning exchanges, each offering a glimpse into the crimes of a man whose empire is crumbling faster than a sandcastle in a tsunami.
What did you actually hear? What was the words, the best you can remember, what he says?
What secrets are hiding in these recordings? In this video, we'll scrutinize these audio tapes, dissecting the explosive claims, the firestorm of reactions, and what this all means for Diddy's future. 4 audio recordings. In April and May 2024, a viral audio clip with explicit content surfaced on social media, featuring Sean Diddy Combs and Meek Mill. The audio emerged amidst numerous allegations of abuse, sexual assault, and sex trafficking against Diddy, sparking much debate. Some sources suggested the clip might be fake, claiming it was made as a joke related to the allegations against Diddy. In the comments section of the clip, social media users expressed doubt about its authenticity. They pointed out inconsistencies, questioned the motivation behind recording audio, and requested fact-checking. While the origin and authenticity of the clip remain unconfirmed, hip-hop artist Jaguar Wright accused Nicki Minaj of leaking the tape. Wright claimed that Minaj had been in possession of the tape for years, waiting for the right moment to release it and implicate Meek Mill. However, Meek Mill has consistently denied any involvement in the audio clip. In February 2024, music producer Lil Rod filed a lawsuit against Diddy, accusing him of sexual harassment, sexual assault, drugging, and threatening him over more than a year. He alleged that he has video and audio recordings of Diddy, his staff, and others engaging in serious illegal activity. This includes footage of Diddy providing laced alcoholic beverages to minors and sex workers at his homes. The lawsuit sought $30 million in damages. In the 73-page complaint, Lil Rod described his experience working with Diddy on the 2023 The Love album Off the Grid. He alleged that he lived with Diddy in his homes in Los Angeles, New York City, and Miami, and on a yacht in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Lil Rod made several claims in the lawsuit. He also accused Diddy of regularly hosting sex trafficking parties with underage women. He claimed that Diddy and his associates threatened him and tried to intimidate him into silence. Lil Rod named several other defendants in the lawsuit, including Universal Music Group CEO Lucian Grange and Diddy's chief of staff, Christina Coram. He also sought compensation for unpaid royalties and publishing shares related to his work on Diddy's album. Diddy's attorney, Sean Hawley, denied the allegations, calling Lil Rod a liar and his claims pure fiction. In March 2024, Lil Rod updated his lawsuit to add Cuba Gooding Jr. as a defendant. He accuses the actor of touching his private parts and other body areas. Lil Rod says this happened on Diddy's yacht in January 2023. He claims Diddy introduced him to Gooding and suggested they get acquainted. Lil Rod felt very uncomfortable and had to push Gooding away forcefully. The lawsuit talks about other famous people like rapper Young Miami, model Daphne Joy, and wellness coach Jade Ramey. It says they were paid monthly by Diddy to be involved in sexual activities with him. Young Miami is also accused of bringing drugs for Diddy. Lil Rod's lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn, says Diddy is trying to scare them and has been threatening Lil Rod's daughter. However, Diddy's team says they had nothing to do with the harassment. In May 2024, Lil Rod amended his lawsuit, removing several key defendants, including Lucian Grange and Universal Music Group, after acknowledging that there was no legal basis for the claims against them. The lawsuit filed by Lil Rod shed light on the alleged abusive and exploitative behavior of Diddy and his inner circle, with specific details and accusations that attracted significant media attention and sparked further investigation. In April 2024, Grace O'Marcaigh filed a lawsuit accusing Diddy's son, Christian Combs. She accused him of sexual assault. The lawsuit alleges that the incident happened in December 2022 while O'Marcaigh was working on a yacht trip chartered by Diddy. What was advertised as a family vacation allegedly turned into a party atmosphere. O'Marcaigh claims Christian pressured her to drink tequila he brought on board, and she felt disoriented after consuming it. The lawsuit goes on to detail that Christian then allegedly cornered her in a secluded area and assaulted her. Audio recordings were used as evidence in the case, capturing O'Marcaigh rejecting Christian's advances while he touched her inappropriately. O'Marcaigh also said that Christian later cornered her again, groped her, and removed his clothing. She said that he tried to force her to perform oral sex on him. Photos of bruising on her arms were included in the court documents. O'Marcaigh's lawyer mentioned that Christian Combs seems to follow his father's behavior. Combs' lawyer dismissed the lawsuit as untrue and plans to have it thrown out. Crazy enough, Christian is not the only Diddy's son caught up in serious legal issues. His brother Justin is currently in a pickle as well. In the earlier lawsuit from February 2024 filed by Rodney Lil Rod Jones, he accused Diddy and his son, Justin Combs, of hiding their role in a shooting in 2022. The lawsuit says the shooting happened at the Chalice recording studio in Los Angeles and involved Justin's friend, a 30-year-old man named G. According to the lawsuit, Diddy, Justin, and G were engaged in a heated conversation that escalated and moved into a restroom adjacent to where Lil Rod was positioned. Lil Rod, who was nearby, heard gunshots and was scared. When the door opened, Diddy and Justin were seen exiting, leaving G behind, who was found bleeding from his leg and hip area. Lil Rod provided first aid to G and facilitated his transport to a waiting ambulance, while Diddy and Justin allegedly disappeared to another part of the studio. The lawsuit claims that Diddy tried to make Lil Rod lie to the police by saying G was shot in a drive-by outside the studio. Lil Rod's version of events doesn't match what the police say or what Diddy's lawyer, Sean Hawley, stated, which is that the shooting didn't happen at the studio. In January 2024, recordings were submitted to a court as proof in rapper Tupac Shakur's murder case, suggesting that P. Diddy was involved in the killing. The recordings include Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, a suspect in the murder, saying that Diddy offered him $1 million to do it.
So it's Pharrell, you, Puffy, Zip, and a bunch of Southsiders. And what Puffy makes kind of an announcement?
Yeah, that was stupid as hell too, you know.
What did you actually hear? What was the words, if the best you can remember what he says?
During a secret police interview lasting 2 hours and 25 minutes in 2008 with the LAPD, Keefe D claims that Diddy wanted to get rid of Suge Knight and Tupac during the East versus West Coast rap rivalries. Keefe D says Diddy privately ordered the hit and talked to him multiple times about killing both Pac and Suge, although Diddy has always denied any involvement. Keefe D claims he never got paid for the shooting. He also mentioned becoming friends with Diddy through a mutual friend named Eric Zip Martin. Audio recordings have been given to prosecutors as evidence in Keefe D's murder trial for Tupac's killing. Keefe D says he's innocent. Besides audio recordings, an incriminating video clip of Diddy recently surfaced. The recent video evidence of Diddy abusing Casey. In May 2024, CNN shared a video from 2016 that seems to capture Sean Diddy Combs hurting his then-girlfriend, singer Cassie Ventura, in a hotel. In the video, Diddy is seen exiting a hotel room while holding a towel around his waist. He runs after Ventura, grabs her by the back of the neck, and throws her to the ground. He then kicks her twice before walking away. Ventura stands up, gathers her belongings, and picks up a telephone. Diddy returns and shoves Ventura into a corner before throwing an object in her direction. The video evidence has sparked reactions from Ventura's attorney, Douglas H. Wigdor, who called it gut-wrenching and said it further confirmed the disturbing and predatory behavior of Mr. Combs. Diddy later released an apology video on Instagram. In his apology, he expressed the difficulty of reflecting on the darkest moments in his life. He said, "My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I am disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now." He also said he underwent professional help through therapy and rehab, also turning to God for mercy and grace. Diddy's apology came after nearly 2 days of silence following the release of the video by CNN. The footage prompted widespread condemnation, including from Ventura's husband Alex Fine and 50 Cent. Ventura's lawyer, Meredith Firetog, responded to Diddy's apology, stating, "Combs' most recent statement is more about himself than the many people he has hurt. When Cassie and multiple other women came forward, he denied everything and suggested that his victims were looking for a payday. That he was only compelled to apologize once his repeated denials were proven false shows his pathetic desperation, and no one will be swayed by his disingenuous words." 6 months before this video leaked, in November 2023, Cassie Ventura filed a lawsuit against Diddy, accusing him of sexual assault, physical abuse, and sex trafficking. She alleged that Diddy exerted complete control over her life. This included controlling her apartment, car, clothing, and even her medical records. Cassie claimed that Diddy isolated her from her support network. She said that he targeted people she was romantically interested in, including rapper Kid Cudi, and that she was afraid to go to the police because she believed it would give Diddy another excuse to hurt her. Cassie also described how Diddy and his inner circle controlled every aspect of her life once they were in a romantic relationship. She claimed that those close to Diddy and his record label, Bad Boy Records, turned a blind eye to the physical abuse she endured. Cassie claimed that Diddy frequently beat her, causing injuries that required her to hide. She claimed that the abuse occurred multiple times a year and that Diddy would hide her in hotels for days to allow the bruises to heal, concealing the effects of the assaults. Cassie described an incident in 2009 where Diddy pushed her into a corner of a vehicle and started stomping on her face after learning she had spoken to another music manager at a party. She was left bleeding profusely and vomiting from the assault. Additionally, she cited another incident where Diddy punched her in the face and gave her a black eye in a hotel in Los Angeles in 2016. When she tried to escape the room, he threw glass vases at her, causing the glass to crash around her as she ran for the elevator. Cassie's lawsuit also includes allegations that Diddy frequently gave her large amounts of drugs. She also alleges that excessive substance use led to addiction and that she suffered from memory loss as a result. She states that she took these drugs to disassociate during these horrific encounters. She claims that these drugs were used to coerce her into participating in sexual encounters with male sex workers, which Diddy watched, masturbated to, and recorded. Cassie had to wear lingerie and white nail polish to stand out against the black male sex workers. Diddy would instruct her and the sex workers what to do and would film the encounters, treating it like a personal art project. Cassie said Diddy threatened to ruin her music career if she talked about what he did. She also said his employees saw him hurt her but were too scared to stop him. After they broke up, Diddy's companies kept pressuring her to come back. In the lawsuit, Cassie claimed that Diddy had paid the Intercontinental Hotel in Century City, Los Angeles, $50,000 to obtain the hallway security footage of the 2016 assault. She also claimed that he forced his way into her home in 2018 and raped her while she repeatedly said no and tried to push him away. Cassie's lawsuit also mentions that she struggled with the physical and mental manifestations of her trauma after escaping her relationship with Diddy, and that she credits her children with saving her from the decade-long cycle of abuse she endured. In 2009, Diddy supposedly pushed Cassie to get breast implants and then wanted her to remove them the very next day. An anonymous witness said that Diddy took Cassie to a meeting with a famous surgeon where he talked a lot about how he wanted her breasts to look while she stood there without a shirt. Cassie didn't say much and seemed shy during the meeting. The witness said Cassie was crying and clearly upset after the surgery, but she didn't speak up and just did what Diddy wanted. Diddy supposedly didn't listen to the doctor's warnings about the risks of reversing the surgery quickly and pushed him to do it anyway. The doctor told the witness privately that he thought this was harmful. The witness said this was the last time she saw Diddy or Cassie. She hadn't spoken up before to avoid causing trouble for them, but now she's speaking out to support Cassie's claim that Diddy was controlling and abusive, especially after Cassie filed her lawsuit. Tiffany Red, who is a Grammy-winning singer-songwriter and a close friend of Cassie, supported Cassie's claims against Diddy in a letter to Rolling Stone. In the letter, Red talked about her personal experiences being friends with Cassie and working with her on music. She mentioned seeing Diddy verbally and physically mistreat Cassie. She wrote, "She and I briefly made eye contact. I felt helpless. She looked afraid and kept looking down at the floor. I didn't know what to do. I was scared." Red said she heard Diddy yelling at Cassie and making threats. She also saw Cassie really high at a party, worrying she might overdose. Plus, she saw both of them needing IVs after partying hard. Red noticed how their relationship was uneven, making it tough for Cassie to stand up for herself. Red spoke up to support her friend's accusations, and because she thinks Diddy is dangerous. She turned her own pain into action by starting a nonprofit called the 100%ers. Aubrey O'Day, a former member of the girl group Danity Kane, which Diddy formed on MTV's Making the Band in 2005, expressed her support for Cassie on social media. O'Day accused Diddy of firing her from Danity Kane because she wouldn't do things unrelated to talent, suggesting he wanted sexual favors. She also said he criticized her body and tried to keep her quiet by offering publishing rights from his label. Dawn Richard, another member of Danity Kane, also shared a message of support for Cassie on Twitter. An anonymous source, who was in a relationship with Diddy from 2014 to 2019, corroborated Cassie's claims of abuse in a 2019 interview. She accused him of physical abuse, including stomping on her stomach and trying to pay her to abort their child. Amidst accusations of sexual assault, Diddy faced fallout from several organizations he was involved with. Diageo, a big liquor company in London, ended their partnership in January 2023 after Diddy accused them of racism. Macy's slowly stopped selling Diddy's Sean John clothes starting in November 2023, ending a long partnership. Capital Preparatory Schools, a charter school network in New York that Diddy helped start, distanced itself from him because of the allegations. Diddy also resigned from Revolt, a TV network he started in November 2023, and by March 2024, he sold his part of the business. Empower Global, an online marketplace for black-owned businesses Diddy created, lost 18 companies, including big names like House of Takura and Falava, because of the allegations against him. Let's look at other people who have filed lawsuits against him in recent times. Other people who have filed lawsuits against Diddy. Joy Dickerson Neal filed a lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs in November 2023. She accused him of drugging and raping her in 1991 when she was a college student at Syracuse University. She claimed that Diddy spiked her drink while she was in the restroom at Wells Restaurant in Harlem, after which she was unable to stand or walk, and he transported her to a recording studio in his home where he sexually assaulted her. Dickerson Neal said Diddy filmed the assault and shared the video with people in the music business. This hurt her reputation, emotional well-being, and career. Dickerson Neal filed her lawsuit under New York's Adult Survivors Act, which gave alleged victims of sexual abuse a one-year window to file a civil lawsuit, even if the statute of limitations had expired. The suit was filed just one day before the expiration of this act. In response to the lawsuit, a spokesperson for Diddy said, "This last-minute lawsuit is an example of how a well-intentioned law can be turned on its head. Miss Dickerson's 32-year-old story is made up and not credible. Mr. Combs never assaulted her, and she implicated companies that did not exist. This is purely a money grab and nothing more." Dickerson Neal is seeking unspecified damages in a trial by jury. Within days of Dickerson Neal's claims, Liza Gardner also filed a lawsuit against Sean Diddy and Aaron Hall. She accused them of forcing her to have sex with them. Gardner said she met Combs and Hall in New York at an event celebrating Jodeci's record release. Following the event's dinner, Diddy allegedly invited Gardner and a friend to Hall's place for an after party. She said Diddy coerced her into having sex with him, and Hall came into the room, pushed her down, and pressured her to have intercourse with him. Gardner stated that she experienced severe vaginal discomfort later and fled the residence. She then discovered that her companion had supposedly had sex with Diddy and Hall. Gardner claims that after being brutally raped by Diddy and Aaron Hall, her life has been overwhelmed by depression, PTSD, and strained relationships with men. She has urged the court for a jury trial. In March 2024, Gardner filed an amended complaint in which she revealed that she was a 16-year-old minor when the alleged assault occurred. She also included a transcript of a recent interview Hall did with Vlad TV, where he confirmed that Diddy had been present in the room while he had sex. Diddy denied the allegations. In a statement, a representative for Diddy called the claims fabricated and bogus, saying that the case was a money grab. Hall has yet to respond to the allegations, but made a series of curious comments on Vlad TV, boasting that Combs had seen him have intimate relations and gloating about sexualizing and impregnating Gloria Velez, a minor. In May 2024, Sean Diddy Combs filed a request to dismiss a sexual assault complaint filed against him by a woman named Jane Doe. The complaint was first filed in December 2023 at the Southern District of New York's federal court. In it, Doe accused Diddy, Harve Pierre, and another person of gang raping her when she was 17. Doe's complaint alleges that she was offered drugs and drink before being gang raped by the three males. The event occurred when he was enticed to board a private plane to Diddy's music studio in New York City. The lawsuit seeks specific compensation damages for lost pay, mental anguish, and mental anguish. Diddy has rejected all of the allegations in the complaint, claiming that he never engaged in, observed, was, or is now aware of any sexual or other misbehavior involving the accuser. He further says that the images in the initial allegation, which show Doe sitting on his lap, were not shot at the studio that night. Diddy's attorneys have said that the complaint is false and disgusting, and that it is a ruse designed to bring their client unwelcome attention, shame, and financial penalties. They have also asserted that the statute of limitations for the legislation under which Doe is suing has expired, and that her charges are ambiguous and lacking in specificity. In response, one of Doe's attorneys has stated that Diddy's motion to dismiss is just a desperate attempt by Diddy to avoid accountability for Miss Doe's allegations of gang rape and sexual assault. It won't work. In May 2024, Crystal McKinney, an ex-model, sued Diddy, alleging him of sexually abusing her in 2003. The action, filed in the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York, alleges that Diddy drugged and sexually attacked McKinney in his New York City studio restroom. According to the lawsuit, McKinney met Diddy at a Men's Fashion Week event in New York City when she was 22 years old. Diddy, then 33, invited her to his studio, where she claims he and others were drinking alcohol and smoking marijuana. McKinney alleges that the joint was laced with a narcotic or other drug, which left her feeling disoriented. McKinney alleges that Diddy then pulled her into a restroom, kissed her, and requested oral sex. When she declined, she said he shoved her head down and forced her to perform the sexual act. She began to walk away, but became disoriented and soon passed out. She awoke in a cab and realized she had been sexually abused, although it's unclear if this relates to the alleged oral sex or another conduct that happened while she was asleep. Following the alleged incident, McKinney claims that she was blacklisted from the modeling industry, suffered from severe depression, and attempted suicide in 2004. She is seeking unspecified damages for pain and suffering, as well as punitive damages. In the same month, April Lampros sued Diddy, accusing him of sexually abusing her 4 times between 1995 and the early 2000s. The case, filed in New York County Supreme Court, alleges Diddy showered her with gifts before becoming aggressive and violent. Lampros met Diddy in 1994 while attending the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City. According to the complaint, the first assault occurred in 1995 when Lampros and Diddy met at a bar in New York City. Lampros alleges Diddy encouraged her to take alcohol, and she ultimately gave in owing to his delusions and violent outbursts. She became uneasy and was led to a car to depart with Diddy, arriving at a motel where she continued to feel ill. Lampros claims Diddy pushed himself on top of her and began violently kissing her, undressing her despite her objections. She soon passed out while Diddy raped her. The second incident occurred later in 1995 in a parking garage near Diddy's Manhattan apartment. Lampros claims that Diddy pressured her to perform oral on him while an attendant watched. She says she was in shock, embarrassed, and in agony after the incident. The third incident took place in 1996 when Lampros alleges that Diddy forced her and his former girlfriend Kim Porter to take ecstasy at his apartment. He then demanded that the two women have sex, threatening Lampros's job when she opposed the idea. Diddy then masturbated and raped Lampros, according to the lawsuit. The fourth incident occurred in Lampros's apartment in the early 2000s after she had ended her relationship with Diddy in 1998. Lampros claims that she reluctantly allowed Diddy to come to her apartment where he kissed and touched her against her will. However, she was able to fight him off and demand that he leave. In addition to the sexual assault charges, Lampros alleges Diddy videotaped their sexual meetings without her permission and shared the footage with other individuals. She reportedly claims Diddy threatened to ban her from the fashion industry if she tried to mess with him in any manner. Lampros is suing Diddy for assault, battery, deliberate infliction of mental distress, and violating the legislation protecting victims of gender-motivated violence. The complaint also names Bad Boy Records and Sony Music as defendants, alleging that they enabled the assault by putting Diddy in a position of authority and failed to protect her. This is Diddy's 8th sexual assault accusation since November 2023, with 7 of the cases charging him personally. Diddy has refuted all charges of abuse and misconduct, promising to clear his reputation. If you enjoyed this video, click on the card showing on your screen right now for more videos.